For this final segment of Community Focus, we welcome Lisa Quinn, the Marketing Coordinator of the Alden B. Dow Home and Studio, and Louise Bergdahl, a volunteer tour guide, to inform us about holiday tours at the facility. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa, the Alden B. Dow Home and Studio offers tours years round, so tell us what's special about the holiday tours.
Well, in addition to our normal historical and architectural tour, the holiday tours, we bring out all of the family's original decorations and we decorate the home the way that they had it when they last lived there. And so we have beautiful witch hazel lit up. We bring the toy trains up and they're running through the living room and dining room, as well as the mechanical toys on the table that Mr. Dow would put out for breakfast when he was alive and living there. And then in addition to that, we treat our guests to some sugar cookies and cider in the living room and dining room area. So as they're going through, they can actually take a little bit of time to just sit down and experience the space that the way that the guests would have done during the time that Mr. and Mrs. Dow lived there.
Well, what are the dates and the times of the tours?
Our tours are offered Monday through Saturday at 2 p.m. with additional tours at 10 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. They're all by reservation, and so if they call the Home and Studio, they can go ahead and book a tour. We also will take private group tours, and so we can always coordinate that as well if there's a large group of people that want to come through at one time.
Now, your 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock tours, is that a single tour at 10, a single tour at 2, or could you have multiple tour groups that will follow each other through?
Well, we normally take about 20 people on tour at a time just for the comfort of the people moving through the spaces. And if we are able to accommodate an extra tour guide, we will sometimes take above and beyond the 20 as long as we have advance notice and we can line up an extra docent to travel them through.
So a single tour, but you might have multiple tour guides in order to handle the extra people. Yeah. And these tours, the holiday tours, start on December 2nd and run through
December 31st.
The 31st.
And we are closed on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve.
But you're open on New Year's?
We are open on New Year's Eve.
Louise, you're a volunteer tour guide or a docent. Tell us what is involved in being a docent.
Well, being a docent, I went through a training program, and in that training program I did quite a bit of reading in the archives, the history of Mr. Dow and architecture and many of the different buildings, that he designed here in Midland and elsewhere. And then I also went. I went with other docents. I shadowed them on tours to kind of see how they did their tours. I was given a script that I worked with, and then I also did I did a tour that I had another docent with me, and I presented the tour, but the other docent was with me to give me feedback after it was all done. And I really, really enjoyed the training because I learned so much about the home and studio and the history of Mr. Dow, and actually so much too about Midland too, and the significance of the architecture here in our community. So
you have a script. All the docents, I presume, work off pretty much the same script, and then obviously different people are going to ask different questions, but with your background and history and everything, you should be able to either answer that and say, oh, we'll ask Lisa when we get back.
Exactly, yes, and that definitely, that definitely happens. And as I found too, as I've given more and more tours, there's certain things that I will, emphasize maybe more than another docent, but all the general information is covered.
Well, do you have enough docents now, or are you looking for more volunteers?
I think they're always looking for more volunteers, and anyone that enjoys history and architecture, anyone that enjoys working with people. I think it's definitely an excellent program, and I know I really, really enjoy the outreach with the people, and everyone, the staff at the home, has just been wonderful with me.
Well, Lisa, what else will be happening at the Home and Studio in the coming months?
Well, in the month of January, we close the doors to the general public because we work on preservation of the home. And then we open back up in February, and everybody's excited to get going again. And through the months of February, March, and April, we are on Saturdays only opening the tunnel that leads from the home all the way to the garage. It's an underground tunnel. And so it's a kind of different architectural element than you find in the standard home. And then in addition to that, on Sundays, we are talking about implementing a film day where Mr. Dow has over 300 different canisters of film in the archive, and there are so many people that get to our home theater and would like to see them, and so we're talking about developing a program that would allow the general public to have certain days to come in and view those films.
And those are his like home movies?
Some are home movies, others are of projects that he worked on, and then just different developments. Some of them are creative artistic pieces, as well as some of them are just the architectural development of some of the buildings here in Midland, as well as other projects that he worked on.
That if those, when that comes about, will that be part of a tour, or will that be a separate program from the tours?
We're still in the development stages, and we're talking about maybe having it as its own standalone piece.
Now, what's the best way for viewers to learn about the tours or to make reservations?
Okay. Well, they can always visit our website at www.abdow.org, or they can call the Home and Studio at 989-839-2744.
And again, the holiday tours are December 2nd through the 31st, and the dates and times, or the day and times, I should say?
Are Monday through Saturday at 2 p.m. with additional tours on Fridays and Saturdays at 10 a.m.
And cider and
cookies. Cider and cookies, yes.
Well, Lisa and Louise, thank you for appearing on our program to tell us about those activities at the Alden B. Dow Home and Studio.